All right, hello everyone, Chris here, and I got a little bit of flack because of my unboxing that I did earlier in the week about Scythe. It was a little bit short, admittedly. Sorry about that, but I figured that I would make it up to you by doing a full, actual unboxing. In fact, this is the first unboxing I've ever done, so my apologies if it goes a little bit long, but let's just see what happens, shall we? All right, so we're going to be talking about Scythe here. Now, I have the collector's edition of Scythe. You can see right away the box is pretty nice. 8481 is my collector's number. There's this really cool sort of metallic paint on the Scythe logo, which looks really sweet. Of course, the art from Jacob Rozalski is super awesome. On the back here, now note that, again, this is the collector's edition, so it's going to show all the components for the collector's edition, including the game components there. The art is amazing on this. I don't know how much art Jacob did, but he did a lot of art, it would seem. So anyway, let's get inside the box and check it out. All right, so what do we have here? Oh, that's a rogue coin. Look at that rogue little token there. That's annoying. So the box came with some silica. This is nice. Keep everything nice and dry. I hear that you can actually keep those and do things with them. But I've never done that before. Now, it's going to be hard for me to show you the full board. The board for this game is gigantic. In fact, it actually came with 2 board pieces for the version that I got. This board that you see right here is the actual board of the game. Now, there's 2 sides of it. There is an enlarged size that it's made to be used with, that expansion piece right there, and then this is the smaller side. So this is actually, more manageable. But if you spring for the board add-on, you get this whole extra bonus piece that you get to expand the board, make it quite a bit larger. It's actually goes from, I guess it's 1/3 larger, but it's really nice. And it's the board quality is awesome. The art on the board is also pretty solid. No real complaints there. It is a lot of folds, so you're gonna make sure that you put it away nice and neat. But overall, it's pretty solid. Now, the board is, this is the expansion, like I said, the expansion board. This is to make your board larger. If your original board wasn't large enough, maybe you have like really big hands, there you go. So those are the boards that came with the collector's edition. They also came with these really cool plastic resource trays. And I think the actual production copy of the game is going to come with 2. My set actually came with 4. Which is really nice. They actually work really well during the game. You can open them up and basically have 8 when you open them all up, little trays. Some bits and bobbles here. These are the objectives, the end game objective cards. Those are dealt randomly at the beginning of the game to pick one. And here's some of the cardboard coins. Now, again, I have the collector's edition, so I'll be showing you the metal coins in a moment here. But these are the standard cardboard chipboard coins that came with the game. They look really neat. Not much to speak on. I mean, they're not like super thick or anything. In fact, as you can see here, they're like really pretty easy to punch out, and it wasn't that big of a deal here. There are, I think, 4 denominations. You get $20 coins, $10 coins, $5 coins, $3 coins, $1 coin. And then there's some multipliers there for the other tokens. The encounter tokens are what you use to get the encounter cards. I'll show you those in a second. But overall, no complaints with the chipboard pieces. It would have been nice to get maybe bonuses of the resource things, the resource pieces. Oh, hey, look, an advertisement for some Stonemaier Games products. Some fine Jamey Stonemaier Stonemaier Games products. But I'll talk about the resource pieces again in a little bit here. So this is the rules of the game. It's a 32-page rulebook, if you count the back page there, which I guess you might as well. But it's pretty solid. It's a hefty rulebook. I learned the game by watching the excellent playthrough from Rodney Smith and Watch It Played. It really teaches you everything you need to know about how to play the game in about 32-ish minutes. But it's a solid rulebook. I can't complain. Yeah, it's nice quality, nice color, nice printing. This, of course, is the Atama. I'm not sure how you pronounce the that word right there. But overall, this is just like the one-player rule, so that you can actually play the full game as a one-player game. There is a quick reference guide, which is really nice. And this is an achievement sheet, so it'll actually give you different categories. So when you play the game, you can fill out an achievement card, and there's going to be stuff like, the first winner in each faction, put the name of the person there, first winner for each player count, so on and so forth. There's also some ones that are bad, so it's not always good to get an achievement, but there you go. And then, like I said, it comes with a reference sheet. The reference guide is kind of flimsy, but, honestly, once you learn the game, you don't really need the reference guide that much. The game's actually pretty intuitive. So there you go. I might laminate it though. Ooh, I just got that idea right now. That'd be a great idea. I think I'm going to laminate mine. All right, so let's look at some of the cards here. Now you get a whole bunch of reference cards, like a lot of reference cards. Obviously, there's actually 2 reference cards per player, so that's 10 reference cards total. This one right here has the the maps and shows you sort of the factions and where they can cross rivers. And then it has some other stuff on the back, like combat stuff on the back. And then there's the basic turn structure and terminology card as well. Didn't find myself referencing them too much during the game we played, but it's nice to have. These are basically the extra pieces. These are like the factory tiles. So once you go to the factory, you get this cool new technology. It can actually teach you stuff like how to make jetpacks and so on and so forth. These give you extra actions during the game. You always play with one more than the number of players, and then you get to pick them once you get to the factory. But it's really neat that it has that. There's a lot of asymmetry in this game, and a lot of ways to sort of to replay it and have different experiences, which I think is really, really awesome, especially in a game like this where, I sprung for the collector's edition, mostly because actually I want to support Jamey Stonemaier, and I love what he's doing. I love the advice that he gives for Kickstarter backers and that kind of stuff. So I felt like supporting him, and this is a great way to do that. So here you have some of those encounter cards that we were talking about with the tokens. These are kind of like crossroads cards, if you've played Dead of Winter. Basically, once you get to a tile with an encounter token on it, you get this little RP element. You see a picture there, and you see 3 possibilities that you can do. For example, you can threaten to start a forest fire, and something happens. And usually there's sort of different things. Like this one, the bears frolic together in the snow, gain $2, 1 popularity. Or you can have a bear meat sandwich. You're going to pay popularity because bears back on the menu is a bad thing, but then you're going to gain more food. So it's a really cool element to the game. I wish that my friend Adrian, Solar Power Spork on Twitter, mentioned that she wished that there was sort of a prompt in the beginning other than the pictures, but you kind of have to infer what's going on with the story. But really neat, and I thought that it adds like a nice little layer to the game. It's also kind of speaks to the exploration part of the 4X genre, which this game has been criticized of whether or not it's going to be part of that. Here we have the combat cards here, of course. These are smaller cards. I think they go for anywhere from 1 to 5, I believe, in their numbers. Basically, these are the cards that you're going to be using in conjunction. Let's see, 2, 3, 4. I can't find a 1. So maybe it's just 2 to 5. But those are going to be what you're using in conjunction with your power dial to do combat, which doesn't happen that often in Scythe. They actually mention it in the rulebook that you're not going to be in combat as often as you might think with all these giant, awesome mechs, walking around the landscape. Here are the automatic cards, Automa. I don't know how you pronounce those, but basically these are the components that they added to the game in order for you to play the one-player version of the game. And these are obviously different difficulties here, and then there's a whole bunch of different things that you go through to play that game or play that version of the game. I haven't read the one-player rules yet. I'm kind of stoked to check it out. Maybe it's something that I can do and stream or something. That would be fun. That'd be a really fun way to spend an evening streaming some solo Scythe. It sounds kind of sad, but when you stream it, there's people with you, so it's not really as sad as it sounds initially. In fact, it sounds kind of lovely, I'll be honest. So those are the automa cards. Anyways, whatever those are. And then these cards are... what are these cards? Why can't I think of what these cards are? Are these also... Oh! These are the objective cards. That's right. At the beginning of the game, you get dealt 2 objective cards that you can accomplish one or the other during the game to get you a star token. If you are the Saxony group faction, you actually are able to score both of your cards. So that's kind of nice. But there's a whole bunch of them, and like I said, you only get dealt 2 at the beginning of the game, so a lot of different ways to go there. So yeah, so those are the card components. No complaints there. The quality is pretty decent, so no worries there. Here are the player boards. These are the bottom parts of the player board. And you can see here, they all have similarities. Like the actions on the top and the bottom are going to be the same for each of the factions. They're just going to be in different combinations. So one faction or one of the bottom boards will have their trade action combined with their build action, like that one, and some will have their use action combined with, or their move gain action combined with their build action, or what have you. So was that the same thing? I don't know. I flipped those too quick. I guess by now it's obvious that like I'm narrating this. No, it's not. This is real life, real time. I should never break character. All right, these are the tops of the faction boards, and these are actually the factions. So you have like the Saxony Empire, you have the Republic of Polania, with the big beautiful berry, so cool. The Russviet Union is the red faction. And the Nordic Kingdoms are another faction as well. The cool thing about these is all of those abilities that you see there, the 4 sort of mech abilities, you have the Crimeans. The 4 mech abilities there are all different for the different factions, so when you combine those with the bottom parts of the board, you get completely different combinations and different strategies going through. The game did come with some power tiles, like we were saying before, so I'll show you. The art is just so cool on these. Now, these power tiles are what you build and use when you're actually in combat. You're gaining power throughout the game, and then this allows you to spend power in combat, but your opponent doesn't know how much power you are spending. You can spend anywhere from 0 to 7, but you can't spend more than you have, obviously. Really cool mechanic. I really like it. I love sort of that style of combat where you have to kind of guess what the other person's going to do. Those right there are the 2 board clips that you get with the game to clip the 2 pieces of board together, and we can start showing you some of the wooden components now. So here I just took some of the Nordic components out, the blue ones you can see here, and I'll spread them out and kind of show you what we're working with here. A whole bunch of different wooden components for each faction. So you're going to have the heart. That's going to be for your popularity, of course. This is your power token right here, so you can measure yourself in the power track. That's it upside down. I felt like I'd show you upside down. Looks different. This is the windmill building, or the mill building, I should say. What else do we have here? We have the monument right down there. We have the armory, is the cylinder on the bottom there. So there's 4 different buildings that you can build during the game. The cool thing, I guess that's not even really a cool thing. One of the things about the game Scythe is that there is a lot of components. In fact, each faction has not only their own bag of like buildings and I don't know what the units are called that you're like enlisting, but you can enlist the units as well. So you have all of those, but then in addition to that, you also have even more wooden components. For example, here I'll show you some of the Saxony pieces as well. So you see like they actually have like their worker meeples. Each faction has a different shape, different cut of worker, and then you have the cubes basically that are used for your upgrades as well. So there are a lot of different bits and baubles. A lot of wood is in this box, which is cool. I think like it's nice to have the quality production value. One thing I didn't go into too much detail with on the board pieces for your individual player boards is that the pieces are indented. So there's actually a spot that all of these pieces can kind of slot into, which I think is a really nice touch. And I really, really appreciate like that attention to detail so that you can move them around and not get jostled. So here we have some of the Nordic Empire meeples here. Looking pretty cool. They look like they have little like moon hats on. Like it looks like they're people from the moon. I guess that's what people who, live in Nordic countries are like. They are, very lunar, I guess, in their demeanor at least, or at least complexion. So here we have the red pieces. I forget the red faction name, but these guys obviously have guns, so they're serious business. Oh, it's the Russviets, that's right. So the Rusviet meeples, like I said, all the meeples obviously are going to be unique to the factions, which I thought was a really, really cool touch. I'll just show you some of them in a group here. And yeah, a lot of bits. It makes it actually a little bit difficult to figure out how to baggy these all up, right? Because I actually ended up just throwing them all in the same bag. Well, not the same bag, but like all the blue ones together, all the yellow ones together, all the white ones together. But when they come packaged, they come in separate baggies. So there you go. I'm just going to put these around here and around the box just kind of to lay them out. And then I'll pick them back up, and then I'll just, put them into my hand. Sometimes I do that when I'm unboxing things. I just put pieces around like that. It's a normal part of my procedure. Okay, so here are, I think these are the Crimean Khanate, I think is what they were called. Had these cool hats, dope hats. Put those in the box there, just kind of spread them around. Yeah, I'll just put them right there in the middle of the box. That's kind of a useful area for them. And then actually, just never mind, change my mind. I'll put them back in the bag and just put them back in the box. That makes more sense. All right, so wooden components, a lot of them, and I think that we've seen enough probably at this point. So let me just go ahead and put them. Put them back in the box where they belong. I don't really know. Should I be talking about putting them in the box when this is the unboxing? Anyways, speaking of the bags, here they are. I found that it was a little bit awkward. There's 4 of the large bags, so there's not enough of the large bags to put each faction in its own large bag, which was weird. There's some small bags too. With those bags and the extra bags that you get with the components that already come in, there are plenty of bags. It just wasn't clear how they were expected to be used. I wish more games had like diagrams for how the game is supposed to be put away. There's a diagram on this box on the side of it here that I don't show you, but yeah, it's just not really conducive to figuring out how to bag them up. Here's all of the minis in the game, the plastic minis. Really cool. Of course, each character has their own, each faction, has their own character mini, which they're all pretty neat. Now, they're not going to be like super highly detailed. In fact, you can see some mold lines here. I mean, they're nice minis. Do not get me wrong. The sculpts are cool, but you can see that they're not like ultra detailed. So it'll be kind of a challenge to paint, but I think that eventually they'll get paint on them and they'll look really, really sweet. Either way, I mean, they're obviously a nice component and they look really awesome. But like I said, they're not going to be like your cool mini or not quality of miniatures. But they are sweet. And I mean, come on, they're all like cool ass dudes and women with cool animal companions. That's awesome. Here are the mechs here. I'm not going to show you all the mechs. Actually, you know what? I'll just throw up a picture of the mechs. That makes more sense. Because the mechs look really, really sweet. And yeah, if I'm talking right now, I'm sure in post I will have put up a picture of the mechs so you can see them. Anyways, we'll keep this moving so you've seen the mechs. I do like how they all slot in very nicely to this plastic container here. Makes it really nice for transport. And yeah, and it also comes with this nice little foam piece to pack it away in when you need to pack it up, which is a nice touch. I would say that container is better than the Cool Mini or Not container. So go figure, right? Cool Mini or Not, get your act together. Now let's see some of these awesome collector's edition components. I am tapping the metal on the glass so you know that it's metal, though you can't hear it. But these are the iron pieces, the metal pieces that you get in the game. They're actual metal, so they are heavy. And yeah, they're really, really cool. I never actually personally owned any of the Stonemaier realistic resource tokens. But while I put these back into the bag and seal it up, I do want to say that I think that they do really add a nice layer to it, and I'm glad to have them. I'm glad that my copy of Scythe has them. Here are the food tokens. I'm just going to put some around the box here. Just a nice little line of 5 of them. I think looks really cool. You know what? I'll just put the whole stack right there in the middle. But here are the food tokens. Hand painted, obviously. Looking really neat though. Like like I said, it's just a really nice like feature to the game that, you know, you have these realistic resource tokens. Again, these are the collector's edition tokens. Now, in the retail version of the game, you're going to be getting wooden tokens, which are still cool, still sweet, but, you know, they're not, you know, sculpted pieces. They're wooden pieces. And I still think that I'm glad I have them. So here is the oil. These come from the tundras. They're little blue oil barrels. Let's see if I can actually get the camera to focus a little bit. You know what? Forget the camera. Oh, there we go. That's a much better. All right. So yeah, the blue oil pieces. You know, for the oil pieces. The great thing about Scythe, in case you don't know how to play, you've never played the game before, is when you're making the resources, you're producing the resources, they actually stay on the board. So it's nice to have these like scattered around the board. You actually get to use them. Everyone gets to touch them a lot. And finally, here is the wood pieces. Really cool, like the wash effect that they have to give the rings around the tree. Is a really nice touch. But like I said, these, you know, all stay on the board during the game, so that, you know, if your workers produce 2 wood, but then I move my military in and push your workers out, I now have access to all that wood that you just built with your workers, which is a neat mechanic. Let me just go ahead and put these resources back into this bag here to keep them safe and sound. I'll just adjust that because that makes sense for me to do at that moment in time. Here are some of the coins. Again, collector's edition, so these are the metal coins. These are the 5, obviously. Again, metal coins, so there's a nice heft to them. You know, during the game, you have the coins and the tokens both can be used in those plastic pieces or plastic containers that the game comes with on the left side of the box right there. Here are the 3 denomination coins. You know, during the game, you're pretty much going to be using the 1s, 3s, and the 5s. The 10s and the 20s you are going to be using in the end game scoring. So here are the 10s, big, chunky pieces. It looks so cool. I think this game was manufactured by Panda, and I think they did such an incredible job with the components of the game. I really think that they should be proud of this production, because obviously it's an ambitious project, right? And yeah, that's really cool. Let me just go ahead and just stretch this closed again. There we go. And here are the $20 coins. Again, these are big, hefty coins. You're not going to really be using them during the game, at least in the games that I've played. You haven't needed to use them during the game, but in end game scoring, they definitely come in handy. And it's nice to be able to just you know, put them back into the plastic that they came from. And then lastly, you have the $1 coins, and use these a lot. These are used a lot in the game. You know, most of the actions that you're taking during the game are going to cost you, you know, 1 coin. You know, the top row actions all cost 1 coin. And so I'll put that one in the corner, and then I'll put it back in the bag because, again, it's just something that I typically do. There's nothing about this video that's different than any other unboxing process I go through. I wanted to show you an authentic unboxing process. There's all 5 coins in all their glory, back safe and sound in the plastic that they came with. Yeah, again, this is my first experience with using some of Jamey's realistic resource tokens. I think this is also the first board game that I have that actually uses has metal coins in it. So yeah, I thought it was really cool. It was a nice touch to, you know, be playing with during the game. You know, you have a little bit of weight to it. It just makes the game feel like more of an event. Like, I literally made a Facebook event for this game, not just because it was new, but because it's a type of game where it feels like it deserves attention, and it deserves a little bit of fanfare, I think. Yeah, I'm not going to review the game. I thought it was really solid. You know, I had one issue with it where it sort of ended kind of abruptly. I think that would be fixed when we played it again, because obviously, you know, our first time playing, we didn't realize that one player could get so many stars, like boom, 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 and in, you know, 2 turns I basically, or not even a turn, one turn I basically got 3 stars to end the game. So not all on my turn, but because other people's actions can give you stars. But that is the Scythe Collector's Edition. That is my unboxing of the game. Thank you for watching, and yeah, see you around.